We the people. Three words that launched a nation. The U.S. Constitution is the backbone of American government, and it all begins with Article 1, which creates Congress. But what does it actually say? And how does it still shape our lives today? Let's walk through it, piece by piece. Article 1, Section 1 is simple but powerful. It says all legislative powers, meaning the power to make laws, belong to Congress. And Congress is split into two chambers, the Senate and the House of Representatives. Think of it like this. The House is meant to be closer to the people, with frequent elections, while the Senate was designed to be more stable and deliberative. But let's look at how each one works. The House is all about representation, based on population. Bigger states get more representatives, smaller states get fewer. Members are elected every 2 years, which is why we have elections so often. To be in the House, you have to be at least 25 years old, a U.S. citizen for 7 years, and live in the state you represent. The House also has a unique power. It's the only place where impeachment charges can start. Now there's a dark part of this section, the 3/5 clause. Back in 1787, enslaved people were counted as 3/5 of a person for deciding how many representatives a state got. This was a terrible compromise, and it took the Civil War and the 14th Amendment to finally overturn it. The Senate is different. Instead of being based on population, every state gets 2 senators, no matter how big or small. Originally, senators weren't even elected by the people. State legislatures chose them. That changed in 1913 with the 17th Amendment, which let voters pick senators directly. Senators serve 6-year terms, and only a third of them are up for election at any one time. That's why the Senate is often seen as the more stable, slower-moving chamber. To be a senator, you have to be at least 30 years old, a U.S. citizen for 9 years, and live in the state you represent. The vice president technically leads the Senate, but only votes if there's a tie. And here's a key power. The Senate holds impeachment trials. If the House accuses a president or judge of wrongdoing, the Senate acts as the jury. It takes a 2/3 vote to convict and remove someone from office. So how does Congress actually function? There are some key rules to keep things running. First, elections for Congress are run by the states, but Congress can step in if needed. They also have to meet at least once a year, though these days they're pretty much always in session. Each chamber can set its own rules, punish members for bad behavior, and even expel someone with a 2/3 vote. That doesn't happen often, but it has occurred a few times in history. Members of Congress get paid, and they have some legal protections. They can't be arrested while traveling to or from sessions, unless it's for something serious like treason. Now, how does a bill become a law? It usually starts in the House, especially if it's about taxes. Both the House and Senate have to pass it, and then it goes to the president. If the president vetoes it, Congress can override that veto, but only if 2/3 of both chambers agree. This is where things get really important. Section 8 lists what Congress can do, and it's a long list. Congress can tax, borrow money, regulate trade between states and with other countries, and declare war. They can create courts, establish post offices, and even punish pirates. Yes, pirates. They also have the power to protect inventions and creative works through copyrights and patents, and one of the most flexible powers, the necessary and proper clause, which lets Congress pass laws needed to carry out its other powers. That's why Congress can do things the founders never imagined, like regulating the internet or air travel. But Congress isn't all-powerful. there are things it can't do. For example, it couldn't ban the slave trade before 1808, a compromise that's thankfully now obsolete. It also can't suspend habeas corpus, your right to challenge unlawful detention, unless there's a rebellion or invasion. And states have limits too. They can't make treaties, print their own money, or tax goods crossing state lines without Congress's permission. The idea was to keep the country unified, not a collection of squabbling mini-nations. Why this still matters today. Article 1 isn't just history. It affects everything in American government today. Taxes, healthcare, national defense, even student loans all tie back to Congress's power. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps the channel. And if you want more breakdowns like this on history, government, or the Constitution, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.